I'm reading really long. In fact, I had a meeting today. We just approved a bunch of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, about $6 or $8 million.
Are you all focused on Virginia projects, or are you looking?
No, we're in Virginia. These were in Kentucky.
Like to go?
No.
Let's see, where else? Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, South Carolina.
That's great to know.
We're in 5 or 6 different areas. And we'll try to expand more if we can. As long as we can get the groups to, find the money, we can get the market.
Yeah.
But we've got to get partners.
That's right.
So you all do the allocation. Are there other entities that come in and do the leverage lending for the tax credit deals?
There's some. We work with all kinds of different groups.
Oh, yeah. Just to say, I know 3 words about you. We do not get calls from you. Just introduce yourself and kind of say what you're doing. You've got all of your materials. We're getting ready to start right now. Are we good? We're waiting on one more person, Sandy, to walk in. Sandy's going to be in this room.
No, sir. I just want to peek.
You can.
Very nice. Too skinny.
Try to keep it close.
Okay, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight at our My Southwest Virginia Opportunity Cup Pitch Night Competition. We're really pleased to have all of you all joining us. I hope that you've gotten some food outside. We certainly have got some wonderful food, as well as the largest pizza I've ever seen in my entire life, so that's exciting. I wanted to just provide a little bit of overview of kind of the rules for tonight's presentations. Each contestant, each one of our businesses will have 8 minutes to present their business concept. They'll have 8 minutes. I am the timekeeper. I will be giving each of our contestants a sign when you have 1 minute. 1 minute to go. And then once the timer dings, stop immediately, mid-sentence if you happen to be mid-sentence. It's very important that we are all fair and we have the exact same number of minutes to be able to present your concept. So everyone will have 8 minutes to present your business, and you'll have 7 minutes of questions. The questions can only come from the 3 judges, not from anyone in the audience. So the judges, you'll have 7 minutes to be able to ask questions, and you can take turns, however you all want to manage that time. I will let you know when we can do one more question. Okay? So I'll manage those 7 minutes as well for you. We're very fortunate to have a pool of judges that volunteered their time for this evening, and they have a lot of tremendous experience. And tonight, I'll ask each one of them to just introduce themselves, say a few words about what organizations they represent and maybe their background. So the first judge, you can sit anywhere, just anywhere you like.
I'm looking for Dr. Hamby's class. They must be upstairs.
Yeah, you're probably need to look for a classroom upstairs.
Thank you.
I think she's going to eat well. She's probably the best class she's had all semester. Okay, so back to our judges. We are very fortunate again to have 3 wonderful judges helping us with the pitches tonight. And we have Doug Muir. Doug, if you want to say a few words about your background and what organization you represent.
I'm representing the University of Virginia. I'm a full-time professor there, and I'm the director of the entrepreneurship program in the engineering school. I teach at Darden. previous life of a private equity guy. I've taken 9 companies from startup to sale, mostly on Wall Street in Chicago.
Thank you very much. Next, we have John Snodgrass has been with People Incorporated.
Thank you. I represent People Incorporated Financial Services. I'm the vice chairman of that particular board. I'm a retired banker. I've been in the banking business for 40 plus years and decided to retire. I serve on, currently I'm chairman of the Appalachia Independence Center, which is sort of something close to my heart. We take people that have disabilities and try to make them live independent. So I really have a passion for that kind of thing, as well as a passion for finances. I'm currently serving on the board of directors of the First Bank of North Carolina. I live over here, but I have some connections in North Carolina. So I serve on that board currently. And I serve on several different boards, but to know I've lived around here all my life.
And our third judge for this evening is Sean Ray with Virginia Community Capital.
Thank you. So I'm with Virginia Community Capital. I'm a loan officer. I've been with VCC for 6+ years. Came from a commercial retail banking background with probably about 20 years total banking experience, and primarily work with VCC in the Roanoke, River Valley, Southwest Virginia region, working with folks like yourselves and others trying to get their projects on the ground.
So let me remind you that questions that once the presentations are done, the questions can only come from these judges. This is part of an overall business plan competition, so the scores that our contestants will get today make up 25% of the overall scoring for the competition. The other 75% is based upon their business plan, their written business plan. So there will be no award winners announced tonight, so it won't be anticlimactic, just so you know right now. The judging will happen tonight, but that is a critical 1/4 of those points going toward the overall cut winner. For this room, the acoustics, I would ask, we are taping, so if anyone's in witness relocation program or anything, you might want to just bow the competition right now because we are taping. And you can see we have 3 judges here in person. Because we had so many contestants, we have another room set up with 3 additional judges there. We're taping so that the judges that are able to be here face to face and ask questions, they'll need to be able to see the presentations of the other room. So between now and whenever they have a chance to judge, they will have access to the recordings. So this room, there is no mic, so we'd ask that there not be any talking in the back, if we can kind of keep the volume down so that we have a high quality video recording, but that we also, our judges can hear. All right, I'm just looking to make sure that we're all in the places that we're supposed to be. The first person, and these contestants drew out of a hat, not only for which room they were to present in, but the order in which they were to present in as well. So that way, we just want to make sure that everybody knows that we're being as fair as we possibly can. Our very first presenter, before I go, is any questions? Does the judges have any questions? Presenters? Okay, so the first presenter we have is Nathan Orms. And Nathan, I understand that if you had any presentations, they are loaded. You can pull up your presentation, and then I'll be your official time. You can stand wherever you would like. Sandy will get you squared away on the video.
My name is Nathan Orms, and my business is Cliffhanger Ranch and Venture Outpost. Our goal is to restore the pioneer spirit of Southwest Virginia through outdoor recreation. This all started with my family. My mom's from here, and she had 15 brothers and sisters, and just wanted to be able to do something with this property. My after my grandfather died, we ended up with it, and I knew I needed to do something with it, but I just didn't know what at first. And I was running through the bookstore and found this Ranch Vacations book, which covers a lot of stuff out west, and God gave me the vision from that to reach this document. I researched back in the year 2000, long before Spearhead Trails. I knew I wanted to do several things. You know, some of this has evolved since then, but I had put it on paper and had been working towards it with the different research that I've done. You can see that we're located centrally to at least the far southwestern Virginia region, Harv Appalachia area. As far as our location, it's in Wise County on the southern side. We're very close to several things from a mile up to 15 and 10 miles, the High Knob, Chief Benji, because we're right across from the National Forest, and we're very close to things as far as hiking, biking, and everything, real close to us on the driveway part. The outdoor recreation market potential is quite large, 646 billion nationally. Camping is 143 billion. Trails is 80 billion nationally. Equestrian part is the most important in its well-being nationally, with 1 billion being in the state of Virginia alone. And you can see over here, Wise County, the total tourism dollars for Wise County, what I've been researched and been told, is only 32 million. So we have an opportunity, a great opportunity to really expand those numbers for Wise County and the region. The participation for outdoor recreation for age-wise is 25 to 45 plus, and some of the highest percentage here with the six-figure incomes and some of the middle incomes have got the highest percentage that's got all the disposable income to do that. That's proven over here in eastern Kentucky. They have a trail ride twice a year that's a week long. It was a weekend event, it's turned into a week. They bring in $3 million almost with these two different events that they have. And you can see that the equine economic impact for horse riders is, you know, it's paralleling those with the ATV riders that they're pushing right now. But Scott County has the largest economic impact for equine for $11.5 million because of the horse park that's down there. One of the main focuses we're going to be doing with Cliffhanger Ranch is being able to have cowboy church there and come in your pajamas, come in whatever you want, when, you know, sit around the campfire during the camp out, during however they're, you know, how long they stay. Plus some other biblical wilderness ministries we'll be using with employees and customers. Current status right now, I do all my own advertising, all my own copy, work, brochures, everything I've designed. All these plus several more. Posters, I just take them to the printer and spit them out and use them whatever we need to do for different things. Working on a new website to be more interactive. I have a WordPress site right now and several social media accounts. But this one I'm just trying to upgrade things to make it a little more dynamic for the user. Right now we're doing weekend events on a primitive basis, just having people come with their horses and camp out, and I do several events with National Trails Day and some other themed times. I've got a buddy that comes down with a bullwhip and does tricks and different things like that, and had a general lead there one year. So just got a lot of opportunity there. I want to be a full-time business other than just do things on the weekends. Marketing strategies right now, just social media and brochure distribution, plus the co-op advertising with BTC and Harv Appalachia. Plus we'll be doing some community events, and I've had a very successful press release campaign for different targeted publications and local media. Spearhead Trails, I've been working with them to do the horse side of the Spearhead Trails initiative. Andrea Hicks has told me that they need a destination, and I have it. As you can see right over there, High Knob area is up there, I'm up there, and Scott County Horse Park is down here with about 8 some miles of trails, horse trails and other trails, walking trails, all in between. I won the Entrepreneur Challenge in June, and I've been using some of the funds to get some additional roads put in and re-gravel what's there to allow everybody to come in to be able to get some areas of different parts of the property. My expansion plan right now, I want to be able to add some cabins and some cowboy tents, and I want to start with everything that that costs less to build up to the more expensive stuff, so we can get some horse riders in there. This is a plat of the property. I've got a lot of opportunity for different lodging, bathhouses, different places, as well as I like to do a lodge at some point in the front up there. The proposed timeline here, all the yellow markings right here is where I've utilized, or am gonna utilize the $5,000 I won already, and if I win the 20, then we'll continue to use for construction and infrastructure, the bathhouse, septic, and all those kinds of things. I have about 12 people projected for the whole operation right now. We're gonna start out with just part-time for the 4 people. It's gonna be just for, retail, rental, take reservations, and facilities, how we take care of the area and place, and of course the guide services and shuttle drivers that we'll need as things get busier. I've got a pricing structure that is pretty close to the competition that everybody's doing with each thing that we'll be offering, but I think the key is going to be just being able to package it with other entrepreneurs as well as what we offer, to be able to have the different things packaged together. If they want to come for 3 days, 7 days, give a day of each thing, horseback riding, whatever it happens to be. They bring their own horse. Eventually we'll rent horses to be able to go out. And I've got working with people on that. Of course, we'll have supporting retail products for tack and different things that we'll sell, as well as t-shirts and a variety of other things. My revenue estimates are only based on just a sampling of what we can offer, numbers-wise, on the different lodging and taking people out. That's just based on a 4-day week and 4 weeks out of a month. So that translates into the lodging, rental guide, and retail services for 3 years. And the revenues are in the thousands there with the marks there. Additional opportunities, I haven't put it in the plan exactly, but outdoor rental spaces, some Native American events, and some different things like that, as well as cowboy festivals and possibly zipline development, because I've got some good high areas that go down into a big valley. And this is my ultimate goal right there. Just having a small old west town, put everything in there. Won't be humongous, but we'll be able to put some hotel rooms up above, maybe some business underneath. May not be a full-time thing, but something that they can come and do each time, plus along with the cowboy festival and everything. So that's the long-term you want to do kind of thing. So that's pretty much it. I appreciate your time.
Can you go back to the financials real quick? But you don't need to do that. If you get out of that and then just scroll down on the side, you'll be able to see your financial. Just scroll down the side and click this small thing. Okay, so
That one?
yeah.
That one.
So what is your break even?
Well, right now, what I've got in my business plan, I've utilized this grant money to get things going.
How much was the grant money?
What was that?
How much was the grant?
Well, the $5,000 was the original grant, and then what I've got here for if I win the 20 is actually going to be infused with some crowdfunding and some other stuff. So what I'll be doing is working my way up to whatever it is I need to do to get folks in there. Because I haven't really calculated a break even per se, but once I add each thing, I'm just going to be able to.
So you use your pricing just on competition, but you don't know what your break even is.
Right, right.
Your marketing plan is, there's something called the get, keep, and grow. How are you going to get them, how are you going to keep them, how are you going to grow them? I understand the brochure, social media, and PR. How do you get the brochures into people's hands, and are they just in Virginia? I mean, I'm from New York City, and I think this thing is cool, but
Right.
how do you get this in the hands of the people? How do they know you exist?
Well, primarily, all the research I've done, one of the things is that Knott County Trail Ride, there's 10,000 people there and 7,500 horses. If I can show up there on their 2 weeks, go around, talk to people, pass out brochures.
Are they located in Virginia?
No, they're in Eastern Kentucky, just a couple counties over.
Oh.
That's where they go see the elk and everything out there. And it's, that's one of the ways to do it, as well as there's a couple of places in town have the publications of horse tack magazines, different things like that. So do ads in those and some specific things. Plus you target the equestrian groups like Scott County Horse Park and Rider Association.
Okay, where's your advertising and marketing here? I'm missing that.
On this one, this is all just grant funding and infrastructure.
Got it.
The rest of it is pretty much in my plan.
And this is your property, yes?
Are there any liens on your property? Your lien, your
It's free.
debt free?
Wow.
What, I'm trying to grasp it, from my point of view, what kind of job creation will your project do? Will it create any jobs for the area other than improvements for yourselves?
Well, it's gonna depend on traffic, first of all.
Right.
Now, that particular thing that I showed there was the 12 people, 4 full-time, to be able to take care of the customers, whether it be guiding, shuttle service, or just taking care of the property. But as we get busier and can branch out a little more, I hope to, now I wouldn't really say like employment, but what I'd like to do, even if some of the folks that we've worked with in Entrepreneur Challenge, is to be able to have a lease operation for other businesses that may employ people, like, for instance, the equestrian side of it. If I want to rent horses, I go to somebody that's got the horses and got the experience, more than I do as far as the horse part, have them come in and set up their operation to get things started for the horse rental part, or some other type of business, whether it be a food vendor, something like that, that we'll be doing, kind of like an outdoor mall that will complement each.
How depth is your experience in this business?
Well, this business, I've had researched this for almost 20 years and worked on it. I've been in retail for 10 years. I worked for Sears several years ago, as well as I've been in IT for quite a few years. And like I said, researched this, and I'm educated in marketing, and have done a lot of stuff with the tourism side of things.
Are there projects of this nature around you, within what kind of vicinity?
Well, the closest competition that has the guest ranch, so to speak, feel, there's one in Independence, Virginia, and a couple outside the area. In my plan, I have depicted about 4 of them that are, there's Love Valley, North Carolina, that's a little old West Town kind of thing, and there's a couple more up in Northern Virginia, Rural Retreat, I think, and a couple others that they basically just do a cowboy experience. You come and ride for a weekend, they stick you in a tent, just different things like that. Some of them don't even offer a whole lot, other than maybe a lodge or.
What is your financial investment in it,
Well, right now,
other than the land?
well, I've been getting things going for quite a while, and of course, I've invested about $20,000 just running back and forth and getting things developed and trying to keep the property from just getting taken over by the woods. So I do a lot of traveling, trying to get out here for everything. So that's money-wise, what I've actually invested in, and will continue to invest whatever is necessary.
What differentiates you from your competition?
As far as the ones that are outside the area or here local?
Your competition?
Well, I know the ones around here, some of them are doing specific things. I look to do everything as far as having a home base for lodging and then go out to do different things. Everybody else so far is actually they're doing kayaking, or they're doing biking or whatever. There's a couple of ones that are in business that are providing the equipment and sending them out on their own. So I actually will be doing all that for them, plus packaging everything, and just providing a total experience they'll be able to walk away with.
Nathan, you said that your business plan has a lot more specifics with regards to the marketing plan. Can you talk a little bit about, follow up on how you plan on, just highlights how you plan on getting the word out to folks outside of this particular area?
Well, as far as the horse market goes, there are a lot of different associations with different breeds of horses. Some of them just like to trail ride, some of them like to compete, some of them like to do that. So once you target some of those groups, like I think in Clintwood, for instance, there's a Iron Mountain Riders. They have this single-footed association that actually they do little races and stuff. So just being able to find those different clubs, plus you can tap into quite a bit of the equestrian stuff.
All right. Okay. Let's give Nathan. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Terry Ann Funk with Clinch River Adventures.
Success. We could probably go around the room and ask everyone in here what success is, and everybody would have a different definition. Success in some people's eyes is maybe showing a profit at the end of the year, or some people's definition of success is, I have a friend who actually has terminal brain cancer. So waking up the next day is actually a success for him. Today I'm going to be telling you about my business, and I'm going to tell you why I believe that we have been successful. My name is Terry Ann Funk, and my business is Clinch River Adventures. This is a map of the Clinch in just the state of Virginia. Of course, it pans on into Tennessee. The headwaters is going to be here in Tazewell. It's going to flow down. In the middle of this, directly in the middle of it, is St. Paul, Virginia. This is where we are located. Okay. Then, of course, it's going to flow on down, and it's going to flow right through Natural Tunnel State Park. We are located in the heart of Appalachia in St. Paul. We actually signed a contract on a caboose there. We operate out of a caboose, and whenever this first came about, I was like, man, this is crazy. But you know what? It's so easy to find. You know why? Because it's a big red caboose. So anyways, our location is directly on the Clinch, and the best part about all this is that the first phase funding for the Clinch River State Park was just passed. And if you're looking at this, from St. Paul up, there's no other outfitters, okay? There's an outfitter in Dungannon, but he does not have a spot, he does not promote, and the only thing he does is for the Creeper Trail, and we're getting ready to take over that next year, okay? He offers kayak trips. And then on down Natural Tunnel State Park, we've already actually talked to them about confirming contracts with them on putting an outfitter down there, because all they do is guided trips. And everything that we do thus far is unguided, okay? So if you're looking at the Clinch River, we are the only outfitter that offers tubing, canoeing, and kayaking, and there's a state park getting ready to come in. They're acquiring land right now in Russell County, and it's going to pan, I would think, it's going to pan from Cleveland to Dungannon. It's where I'm thinking that it's going to end up, and we are directly in the middle of it. So if you're looking at an advertising plan, it's fantastic for us, because why? They're going to be promoting a state park, but we're going to be the ones offering watercraft to go down the river. And again, we're the only one doing this right now, on the Clinch River. All right, so why are we a success? This is one of the reasons this is so simple, but you know what? The simpler the better in my eyes. All right, first year we were open, 2013. We had 40 tubes, 4 kayaks, and a canoe. Actually, the canoe ended up with a hole in it at the end of the year, so that's not it's not good for the river, of course. So, but 92% tubing, actually the rest of the 8% orange here is going to be kayaking, canoeing, and then of course retail. $7,123. We were ecstatic. We made $323 our first year in business. All right, so in between these 2 years, at the end of 2013, we received $5,000 in the first Entrepreneur Challenge. We were ecstatic again. We were so pumped up, all right? So what we did was, we had turned away so many businesses the first year in them bringing their entire practice down, or a group of colleagues wanting to float down the river. So what we did, we actually was able to take the $5,000, we injected it back into our business with watercraft, canoes and kayaks, and we were able to take $5,000 and turn it into $22,000. In my eyes, I think that is success. So, from 2013 to 2014, we had a 215% increase. That is, the reason for that is because, first off, we created networks that allowed us to be successful. And we cross-promoted businesses. Also in St. Paul, I forgot to mention this, is Spearhead Trails. Spearhead Trails, there's actually information in your all's folders on that. I don't need to go into that. 2015, we still increased sales. Now this stat, I don't want it to be misleading, 328% or 328%, that is based off 2013 sales, okay? From 2014, I'm thinking it was like 72 or 78%, but that's still pretty awesome, okay? And this, in between, at the beginning of this year, we had some unforeseen circumstances, and this is really with minimum marketing, 2015. All right, so where are we going? Next year, we want to get into the guided fishing trips. This is a sector of the market that we're completely missing right now, due to the sheer fact that we do have the money to do it now, but to do it correct and to market it the correct way, funding from this challenge would be fantastic. We also want to get into the RV park. Why in the world would you want to get to the RV park whenever that you're on the river? Well, first off, Spearhead Trails is located in St. Paul, okay? There's other campgrounds, but Maggie Way Campground is the only campground that is directly connected to St. Paul as well as the trail system. They have been at 100% occupancy since January, okay? So, we want 20 campsites and 10 RV hookups. That's just for 2016. 2018, and the thing is, we are of course here to sell Clinch River Adventures, but we are selling Southwest Virginia as a whole. We are not trying to just promote Clinch River Adventure. We are promoting the entire, everybody. And the more that we can come together, for instance, us and Spearhead Trails, or us and your ranch, the more, first off, the more customers, and if we can keep them here overnight. And right now, St. Paul, Virginia does not have the infrastructure from an RV standpoint or a campsite standpoint. They do not. You know why? Because people were calling Clinch River Adventures wanting to know where that they could stay. I live in the town of St. Paul. You know what I told them? I said, you can't bring your RVs, but if you have a tent, I said, you're more than welcome to camp in my backyard. And I know that's crazy to say that, but there is a huge market right now for this, and no one is, well, actually Maggie Way Campground is capitalizing on it. They're at 100% occupancy. Oh my goodness. All right, 2008 RV park, increased campsites, build 5 cabins, 5 glamping domes, paddleboarding, bike rental, 5-year plan. This is where we want to go with it. We are at a 6-month business right now. We want to go to a 12-month business. And the winter tubing would allow us to do that. Job creation is very, very important to us. 2013, we had 3 employees, and we have doubled that. Again, this is seasonal employees. 2016, we want a full-time secretary for paperwork, phone calls, and so forth. 2 fishing guides, a shuttle driver, and by 2020, we're going to have 5 to 8 employees for the winter tubing. Additional 3 to 5 for Clinch River Adventures, and 2 full-time management positions. This is projections for 2016. Projections are based off a 10% increase from 2015. Clinch River Adventures and the fishing trip, now this is separate than the campground, although it's in one business plan. $13,303, that is profit. Initial investment, the campground's $36,500, and at 10%. funny thing is, I actually took away about 4 slides. And I think I had 9 slides, that's what I have.
All right, so we've got time for questions. You got 7 minutes for questions.
You want to start first at the end?
Terry, tell me about the winter tubing. Is it not too cold to be out on the water, or how do?
Oh, so, did not get into this. We have acreage where the campground and the RV site is going to go, directly connected to St. Paul, Virginia, as well as Spearhead Trails. And that is where the winter tubing would go. And we would run that from December up, well, weather permitting, of course, because we have Decembers with, what, 60-degree weather? But we would run that from December up into April, if we could.
Does your program call for catastrophes, for lack of a better word, accidents in your budget? What happens if?
Well, the past 3 years, this is actually one of the slides I actually took out. The past 3 years, the first 2 years that we were open, we had 0 accidents. I carry 4 types of insurance with Clinch River Adventures. Okay, on the water, off the water, caboose, as well as, or the rental property, and then as well as on the vehicle. And they're $1 million policies, $2.5 million policies, if that's what you're asking.
I am.
Yes. So we have policies to cover us every which way, because why insurance is the most important thing.
Who owns the water? I mean, how do you?
That is public.
So you get to start at the top, and who's going to pick them up at the bottom?
But we actually take them upriver and they flood back to
And
us.
that's what you do. So what's the barrier to entry here? I mean, could I get a couple dollars together, throw some tubes, and you and I put on our skivvies?
You
which
sure
would be a pretty
could.
ugly sight.
Yes.
And we get on it. So we could do it. So what would stop the competition from coming in and taking this over?
Nothing. We just have excellent ties and a great customer base. And we have created a database to track every single person that gets on that river. So
you say it's a huge market.
Yes.
Can you define huge in numbers?
Let's see, the state of Virginia, what, 163 million in tourism last year, I believe. Outdoor rec is the number one.
But you're in a specific area, right?
Yes.
And you're tubing. Is there a number for tubing and kayaking and?
Within Southwest Virginia, actually, no, I have not saw a number on that. And the reason for that is probably we are one of the first outfitters in Southwest Virginia. So I would base it off of their numbers.
So you don't have to sign any contracts with states or parks or just load on through?
We do not.
And they're using your property in the beginning? Or?
Now at Natural Tunnel, we would, just for the sheer fact that we were going to actually create a cross promotion there. And to get on to that, we were supposed to open up an outfitter this year in Natural Tunnel. And so every single bit of this has been a blessing from God. And the unforeseen circumstance, my husband and I started this business and he passed away in January. And if we can go through as a business and sustain that type of loss, I know that we can do anything. It's just the point of having the money to do it.
And what's your money going to do?
The money is, we would inject it back into the business because that's what we did every single year.
Or if you were to have a source of use of cash.
Okay. First off, we want to do the guided fishing trips and then the RV campground. I'm not for sure if you remember the projected part.
If you get out of this and go to your side views, we can look at your slides.
Okay, all right. I
You
can do
got
that.
it.
Yeah, good. I actually am a computer teacher, so if I don't know how to do this, you should throw something at me. Right? All right. But here, if you look at the projection here, I've talked to several people, especially within the area. I wanted to move the winter tubing up and switch the RV campground with the winter tubing. But if you think about it, whenever someone comes, they want somewhere to stay. Currently, right now, we have lodges and different things. But as far as outdoors, staying in the outdoors, the infrastructure is not there at all.
So that's what you're building is infrastructure?
Yes.
How many people have you talked to about the outdoor tubing? I think someone just brought it up here. It's a little cold.
You know what? I haven't talked to a lot of people. I know that there would be a huge market.
So you just know with your soul. You don't know
Oh,
about
no.
other people.
No, completely not. Okay, first off, on the outdoor tubing, I'm from St. Paul, Virginia, and went to UWI's. And so the kids, for instance, if tubing will go in the summertime, why wouldn't it go in the wintertime? And there is nothing at all to do in the wintertime in
That's
Southwest
a
Virginia.
good question you may want to ask.
Yeah.
I like your presentation. It's, I was able to
Follow it.
follow along with it real good, and I appreciate that. And just sometimes enthusiasm. I'm not down to the program. I'm
Right.
just saying, don't let your enthusiasm get ahead of you
Right.
and get into projects that you're not ready for because you haven't developed what you've got before you to move forward.
Right. And that's one of the reasons, that's an excellent point. I think that's great. That's one of the reasons, the research for the tubing is not there. It's not in the business plan. And that's why it's the 5-year. The RV park, it's in there. The initial cost is broke down for the first year, it's broke down for the second year. The expansion of that is broke down in there. It wanted 24 months, and so we gave 24 months. Oh, I'm sorry.
We've got the facilities over there to use it. It's beautiful.
That is correct.
I think it's got some possibilities. Just takes enthusiasm, and I like the word success.
Tell you what, tell me what your plan B looks like if you don't get 20,000 or any of the money for that matter. What happens next?
Plan B would actually, we own the land straight out, and so we would just take a loan upon the property. It's 150 acres, so there wouldn't be.
So you would still move forward with this 3- and 5-year strategy that you've outlaid for the growth of the business?
We would definitely move forward with the RV campground. Because our projections, we did projections in the business plan, 10%, 25%, 50% occupancy. But these numbers are based on 10% occupancy. So, and again, Maggie Way has been at 100% since January, so yeah.
You got a nice resume.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, let's go to the next question. We'll give the judges a few minutes to finalize their notes while we get that plan.
Is your 2015 numbers are these actual numbers on the
They
cash
were-
flow?
Yes, most of those, that is actually an estimate on a couple of those, just for the sheer fact that we haven't had a few bills come in yet. But any questions that you have about that, I'll be more than glad to answer.
Okay, little change of plans. We're gonna go a little bit out of order. And the next up on presentations happen to be Sonia and Jack Van. So, getting them set up.
the button going? There you did. I pressed the side button.
Hello, we're here to talk to you tonight about J&M Tool and Supply located in Washington County, Virginia.
This is Jack Van Hook, my husband. He has 30 years in experience in the industry, in the construction industry. He has worked for the major leaders, Home Depot, Lowe's, Fastenal, Dublin Tool, which is a subsidiary of True Hardware. What he can do is take the best practices from all of these companies and incorporate it into our business. My name is Sonia Van Hook. I have 20 years experience in small business management. The tools that you'll see throughout the presentation are pictures of products that we actually carry. In addition, you received a business card and Squincher. This is a little drink mix that you can open and put down inside of a bottle of water and shake it up. And it is sugar-free and it has electrolytes. For construction workers who are working outside and losing all kinds of, sweat, it can replace all the electrolytes that you are losing. And so this is a good seller. It used to be that Gatorade, people would buy these big coolers and we would dump a 5-gallon mix in there. But now everybody's going toward the bottled water. And so that's why we still have some of the Gatorade, but this is a much better seller. And there are several different flavors, and we passed out some of those to you. I hope you'll be able to enjoy those later.
Our business concept is provide quality products to the job sites, taking a fully stocked truck there to take care of the tool needs, fasteners, epoxy, safety, first aid, where they don't have to leave the job site, go to Lowe's, Home Depot, Fastenal. Only company to do this, Fastenal, some other companies, if you call and order in, they will bring the product in and then bring it to the job site. This may take 2 or 3 days, but I have it, most of it in stock and can take it the same day.
So what need do we fulfill? Well, if you don't have the right tool, the right fastener, the job can shut down. And then the job manager has to go out to one of these big box stores and spend half a day trying to chase down the products that he needs. He can call us, call Jack. Jack can take the product right there to him as long as we have it there in stock. The benefit of that, everybody knows time is money. So if we're saving the project manager time, we are saving them money. And why buy from us instead of the competition? Well, because of the knowledge. Jack can go on a job site and see, all right, we're at this particular phase of construction. Next week, we're going to be here. You're going to need such and such product for this next phase. Do you have it? Well, if you don't, just buy it here off the truck. We have the truck right here. Just buy it. And he knows what to carry by looking at the jobs. He can go to the job and see what process they're doing now and then what they're going to need later. The knowledge, the price, we shop all of our competitors. We know what's a reasonable price. Availability, we have the truck right here on your site. And warranty, we do stand behind our products.
Some of the products we do carry, power tools, do battery tools, electric, air tools, fasteners, anchors, screws, wood screws, drywall screws, all types of fasteners. Safety equipment that you can't just go anywhere and buy, harnesses, lanyards. I can train people, fall protection. I have OSHA 30-hour certification, so I can offer 10-hour safety courses on job sites, do safety meetings. Epoxies, I carry a wide range of epoxies, from anchoring epoxies to crack repair, epoxy resins to stop waters that's flowing through concrete. And I am very proud of my business. I've spent 30+ years in construction, so means a lot to me to see buildings going up, whether it's new construction, renovation, and I know I had a part in that. It's just something that's in my blood.
We've talked a lot about deliveries, so we thought we'd show you a picture of the truck. This is the only vehicle that we have right now, and of course it's in the future plans to add more vehicles and hopefully add more people with the knowledge, train them so that they can do what Jack does.
Tool repair, I also pick up tools that need repair on job sites, bring them back to my shop, take a look at them, give an estimate, call the contractor, tell him what it's going to cost to fix it, and he can tell me if he wants to fix it or replace it. No one else in the area offers tool repair for gas engines, electric, air, that I do. I'll pick it up, repair it, deliver it back to the job site.
Some of the products we have for advertising, we have the business cards, we have hard hat stickers. It's very common in the industry to take these stickers, you'll see them on Jack's hat. Mine's a new hat, so I don't have these stickers on. But to put these on it and collect these particular stickers, and then that just kind of improves their status on the construction job. The t-shirt, you'll see an example of the orange t-shirt over there. A lot of construction sites require this bright orange. So when the worker comes to the foreman and says, my tools broke down, he's got this shirt on that's got J&N tool right here. So we're hoping that they'll just pick up the phone and call us, and then we can replace that tool or whatever is wrong. The truck signs, you saw a picture of the truck. It has the signs on there at all times. It has happened where Jack has been in a parking lot of a fast food establishment, and somebody will come up and knock on the window, say, I saw the sign, do you carry Sawzalls? Well, yeah, he does. So he can actually sell right straight off the truck. We offer estimates, and every estimate, of course, has J&N Tool and Supply written right across the top. The more you get your name out, the more we get our name out there, the more the construction people will see our name and think to call us, word of mouth. If you do a good job, they'll talk about you. We want to have our name out there, and memberships. The same thing with EVA, I²Foot, and the AGC. We're members of all these organizations. Again, trying to be where the contractors are going to be.
Our business plan feasibility is identify the target market. I get word of mouth from my contractors when they're going from one job to another, or they're getting ready to start up a new job. Plus I go to plan rooms, building permits, and personal contacts. I had called Friday, a guy called that he was been at Piney Flats a couple years ago, built a building. He's from Knoxville, says I'm coming back up to Bristol, Virginia to start a job next week. Just give me a heads up, come by and see me. So that means a lot to me to get the word of mouth.
We're going to need a new bookkeeper and another sales associate. Jack can't be everywhere at one time. We're going to need another associate who can cover an additional territory.
Some of our cash flow projections, 13 was a loss, 14, 15, and 16. It's growing. What I've been doing is taking most of my money and profit, turning it back into more inventory to have more stuff on hand when the people need it.
Do we have questions?
How long have you been in business? Is that?
2013, started in April of 2013.
Is that cash flow actual profit, or is that?
That was cash flow. Like I said, I've been turning most of my money back into increasing my inventory from a start off of $5,000 to excess of $80,000 cost right now.
So you have $80,000 in inventory?
Yes.
And the competition, Snap-on Tools, you've heard of them?
Yes.
They come around once a week?
Yeah.
And so your differentiation is?
I deal more in construction tools, power tools, air. They do a lot with mechanics tools. They do some air tools, air wrenches and so forth, but they don't do safety products, first aid.
What is your percentage of income? So your revenue streams are repair and new tools. I would think repair is going to blow away the new tools because of the profit margin. Because the profit margin is this young man right here, right? And no one repairs squat anymore.
Yeah.
So what is it for the last 3-4 years? What's the differentiation for, is it 20% repair, 80% tools? Where's your profit coming in?
Probably close to that 20% in repair tools. What helps me there is most people, if the repair cost gets close to 50% or more cost of a new one, and say it's 5 years old or 4, they'll go ahead and say, I'll just do a new one, bring that one back to me, I'll keep it for parts. So it's kind of a win-win situation. I bring them in, estimate, if they repair them, I repair them. 99 times out of 100, they'll, if they're buying new, they still come to me. So
and they give it to you.
Yeah. So
20% of your business is gonna be the repair business.
20 to 25%.
What's your turnaround on repairs?
Right now, a lot of it depends on getting the parts in, which part of this money, if we win, I'm going to increase some parts inventory. It's about 10 days, 7 to 10 days for me to get the tool, look at it, see what's wrong, price it, turn around, order the parts that I need, get them in, put them in, take it back.
Can you lease them another tool while you're fixing it? Is that
Well,
what you're doing?
either that or I'll let them use it, just because I get other items, drill bits, saw blades, so forth. I've got some rental tools that I rent if someone doesn't own, like this gas saw here, it's a $1,000 item. Most people don't have that on a job site. They can rent it from me for like $70 a day.
So you have leasing options too?
Yes. Rent to own kind of thing. So.
Typically, the type of jobs, I'm sorry. Okay. Typically, the type of jobs that you're on now, or that you're going to be called to, would be what?
Mostly commercial jobs.
Commercial.
Residential. I specialize more in like if we're using metal studs behind the drywall versus wood studs. I still have wood screws, drywall screws, but probably 90% or more of my business is commercial. And whether it's renovating a hotel or building a new hotel, have a lot of demolition contractors. And
road construction?
Some road and bridge, concrete repairs, hard hats, marking paints. I mean, I've got products for just about every type of contractor or subcontractor.
Jack, you had a graph with some growth numbers and projections. I think those were sales, if I remember correctly, with a pretty dramatic increase from 14 to 15.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yes. 2013 was roughly $60,000 in sales. Partial years from May through December. 2014 went to 168,000. This year be somewhere in the neighborhood 275 to 285.
Gross sales?
Yes.
What do you think is driving that?
Hopefully, what people are telling me is, I'm there when they need me. I'm a phone call away. I stand behind what I sell. I carry good products. Not something that they're going to buy and it break down in one day. I mean, yeah, they pay more money for it. Some of the brands I have, you can't even go to Lowe's or Home Depot. It's more of a specialty. Metabo, German tools. But word of mouth and taking care of my customers and the product line that I carry. Because I listen to my customers, they tell me they want Klein hand tools or, Miller harness versus, cheaper brand, that's what I bring in stock for them.
What's 90% of your business? What's 90% of the tools that you use? Do you know that number?
90%?
Yeah, what are you seeing a trend? Are you keeping trends? It sounds like you're...
Right now, the most popular tool that is just about on every job site is a battery-powered impact wrench. For driving screws, tightening bolts, loosening bolts, things. They don't have to pull out a cord. It's lightweight, it's durable. The battery lasts 10, 12 hours.
There's a zero e-commerce here. Being a professor at the University of Virginia, that is all I say. This is the most enlightening thing I've seen in 4 years. 0 e-commerce. And they found out exactly where to go. It's so simple, it's just blowing my mind, I love it.
I worked for one company, was Dublin Tool and Supply, mid-Virginia. And I had a territory that I covered 36 counties in 3 states. And I learned a lot through them.
What do you see the technology down, say, 2016, 2007, technology and tools changing? Is that going to be
There's a lot more computers, chips and so forth in the higher end tools now.
Will that be higher or lower cost to you?
It's going to be a higher cost to the end user, and then repairs are going to be more. It's getting to where some of them now have computer chipboards in them, and if 1 or 2 of the electronics goes out, you've got to replace that board. And on a $600 grill, that board may be $400. So, thank you for your time.
Okay. So while these folks make their way out, we have next up Marla Edwards.
It is, yes, sir. Don't let the word crooked bother you. Just in the name. Crooked bother you. Thank you so much. Good evening, Sharks. My name is Marla. I'm here today seeking anything and everything that you can give me, along with your professionalism and your interest in my business and the things that you've learned over the years. The first thing I'd like to do, just to demonstrate what my business is take requests, any song anybody would like to hear. Anything?
Eliza Jane.
He's not from around here. You call him Eliza Jane. That's just Liza Jane. So here we go. For your request, sir, here's Liza Jane. She played that song, and the reason she played that song is to show you how skilled she is in fiddle playing. She's about as skilled in business. There's a reason that I've left everything sort of hollow on this, and it's to say to you that I've owned the Crooked Road General Store for 5 years. I opened up along the renowned Highway 58. There's a 300-mile stretch of what's known as the Crooked Road. It's known for its bluegrass venues, its great music, its fall leaves, and all of the great things that all of you are advertising along the way. In opening the store, I thought I was opening a 90-year-old grocery store business. I thought that I would sell bread and milk, and I chose intentionally no alcohol, no cigarettes, no gas, and no lottery, which I was told that I was shooting myself in the foot because all of the old Black's Grocery and the things that the store had been in the past, the Collins Market, those are the things that they sold there. I chose just to open it up and make it a family environment, keep people going, as I said, with the bread, the milk, that sort of thing. So had these groceries in there, but my first love is music. And so the very first thing I did was I said, when I reconstruct this building, I put all of my money into it, reconstructed the building, and I built a stage in there. So I said the reason I built the stage is I want everybody to come to a jam on, let's make it Monday nights, because Pickin' Porch's jam is on Thursday, and another jam is on Friday, and another on Saturday. So I decided to do mine on Monday. Well, the very first Monday there were 2 of us that sang to one another. The second Monday there were about 5 of us that sang to one another. And throughout the years it kept developing to the point that no one cared about the bread and the milk, and I literally had to move the racks out of the way to let people come in and sit in chairs just to enjoy each other's music. They all started in lawn chairs. So we get into that. Well, within just a few months, I got very sick. And so I turned it over to 2 friends to run the business. The reason I'm here today is to tell you that I can't hire employees without a new start. I've kept this business going for 5 years. I've spent a lot of money out of my own pocket, and I own the building. I don't lease from anyone. My dream is to open that back up with my family's health improving. That helps a lot. But to open this back up as a venue along the Crooked Road that is a place for people to come, especially children, to have concerts and almost recital performances. There are so many bluegrass lessons being taught in this area. There are so many guitar lessons being taught in this area and fiddle lessons, if I could get those in there. In these few minutes, it's hard for me to describe. My artistic side wants to create everything t-shirt, everything hat, everything with quotes in it from the things that are said at my store. I recently did a t-shirt for Dale Ann Bradley. She's the Female Bluegrass Entertainer of the Year 5 out of the last 6 years. And when I did her shirt, I simply wrote bluegrass, a little dab will do you. Well, D-A-B were her initials, and she bought it immediately. That's the sort of idea that I have in my head when I get into the store to work. I don't want to bring a list of things that I need to buy. In the big scheme of the money, I need to hire employees who can open that store back up while I take care of my family. We're open every Monday night. We have a live television show called Mountain Music Showcase that's recorded every week, and it plays every Saturday morning at 8:30. We have lots of folks who travel the Crooked Road or the renowned Highway 58, and they stop in along the way at the store there. And it's only on 3/10 of an acre there at the store. It only holds about 75 people, so you ask yourself, what can the monies come from? The difference in our place is that we treat each one person with respect. We treat each one person as if they're the only one there. If they come to us that night and say, I'm celebrating an anniversary, we make a big to-do of it. If they come to us and say, I lost a family member, we're not afraid to make a big to-do of it. The biggest thing about me in the 5 years that I've been there, I've given most everything away. I haven't needed the money as far as an income and a living to make. I work about 3 part-time jobs to keep my incomes coming and the things that I need. What I want to do is take this business to the next level where I can charge to use it as a facility if someone wants to have a private party. In hiring those employees, they can work that. I don't need to be open 40 hours a week if I don't have to, but I can if I want to. The last thing that I want to do is my home is immediately behind the store, and I have about 20 acres there that would make a beautiful outdoor stage and area for performances. If my monies could go forward into that, then I could start to charge for the festivals. The key is when I first opened this business, there's so many places like it, and I was told to be different. The only difference in mine is that everything is so small because of the lands that it's held to and the walls that it's held inside of, that we can reach every corner of our business with zero trouble. I can go to any part of it. The store has no debts. Everything that's sold inside of the store is paid for before it's ever brought into the store. In a smaller purpose, I would like to have the money for 2 pieces of equipment, so that would be the small money that I could use. The larger money, I sincerely want to put somebody to work full-time. I have 9 volunteers who have been at my store for 5 years. 4 of those 9 have been there for the entire 5 years. 5 of them have been there for 3.5 years. Everything we do on Monday nights is volunteer. It's a great feeling to me to know that. I've been up a creek without a paddle. I'm the 2-liter drink in my family events. People have wanted to shoot me. I do need the tools to go by, and I could probably use a drink at your winery every once in a while. Anything that's going on in my world, I celebrate with all of you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for letting me stand up here and tell the truth like it is. Thank you so much.
Well, what would change when you hire somebody, when you use the money to obviously pay salaries?
Yes, sir.
But that would run for a period of time, and then how would you sustain keeping that person on board?
In the beginning, when I opened the business the very first year, $8,000 was what I made, and I made that clear simply because I owed nothing. I was able to buy the groceries as I went and what I was able to sell that for. If I open it back up and can result as a store that people can come into, that's part of the money right there that would pay that. The other thing is that my place is really, it's more of a seclusion and a private party place, and I feel like with on those Friday and Saturday nights, I can go ahead and lease that for a certain price. As a matter of fact, I have 3 of them right here before the end of the year without even announcing it that are paying $300 a night just to have the facility because of the ambiance in there. It's just a retro feel, and it's all a family cycle.
What's stopping you from hiring that person?
To be honest with you, health, and I don't want to bring it into as a sorrow, but there are so many things going on that I sort of gave myself until January 1st. I wanted to make it through the school. I've learned a lot through the school, but I don't do really well with things on paper and reading that to the end. I do better in the activity of things, and I need people inside of there who can take care of that kind of thing. And as I said, of the customers that I have, 90% of every Monday night are there every Monday night. My customers are 90% at about 75 people. And that's a pretty cool feeling to me that will come and continually pay and pay and pay, and not being able to grow in that way. I'd like to grow in other ways, which is turning it into a music park with a stage on my property there straight across the road, or turn it into a place that I can rent the facility there on Friday or Saturday nights to give it a special place to have an event.
How does the employees make you money?
I'm sorry?
How are the employees making you money?
From
Because you're going to take this money, you're going to pay employees. So how does that make you money?
Well, that's what I was answering there, is if I could open up full-time like I was before. I'm literally only open 1 hour.
7 days a week.
1 evening a week. I would probably stick to 5. There are 2 reasons for not doing Monday and Sunday. And there are people who would be willing to work on a Sunday if I wanted to do that, but I perform in a band and also in a quartet, and I'm gone a lot of weekends, and that's another reason to have. But my volunteer level has been so high that I've never had to worry about any event that I've ever had.
So you're thinking once the employees and the money runs out, you'll be able to have sustainable revenue from not groceries, not hardware, not souvenirs, but
I think souvenirs are going to be what does me, and the groceries coming back into it. There wasn't an awful lot of money in that to begin with. It was the lunches. The kitchen is open during the day for lunch, and their work crews, VDOT, ate there all the time. That's the only place that I lost anything, was having to close the door during the week. As I said, Monday nights pays for itself. All of the bills are paid with what I make on Monday night. I owe nothing out of my own pocket. The business is self-sustained.
For the month, just one night.
From 1 night a week,
Pays for everything.
it pays for everything,
Except employees.
except employees.
And they volunteer.
Yes, sir, everybody there.
It sounds like, I can see the passion in your eyes and hear it in your voice
Yes, sir.
about the business.
Yes, sir.
It sounds to me like you're working an awful lot of jobs, doing an awful lot of things, and trying to start a business too. Is that the case? Are you spread yourself too thin?
Well, I'm not trying to finish a business,
Yeah.
so that's part of it, is I've never been spread too thin. I've never really known a life where I didn't just get up and do something. And
Okay.
no matter what I've been through, I just
Sure.
go right on through it. Lots of people said it should probably become something like a 501c3 and do something completely different with it. Or the tourism thing interests me, but here again, 3/10 of an acre compared to what other acreages are for that sort of thing. But with home, having a full land, just an open meadow of 20 acres, that's a cool thing to do. That's plenty of land to set something on that is a small festival. I would like to focus on mostly 21 and under so that I could give kids a place. A lot of music teachers in this area, all around the counties, they use my place for their recitals. Number one, it has a television camera service. It's live streamed every Monday night. It has just enough seating to bring family and friends in, but it's not so big that the kids feel overpowered by it or afraid to get on the stage there.
Can you tell me where it's at? If I wanted to come out there?
I'd be happy to. You take 81 south from here and take exit 1, 58 west, and I'm just 2 miles off the interstate. Exit 1.
Tell me about your competition, Pick
Pick and Porch, that's a show that's on Monday nights as well. He used to be on Thursday nights, which is why I chose Monday nights. He was in the Bristol Mall. That's Tim's show, and he moved his to Monday night because the facility that he got, they are a 501c3, and the facility that he got offered him the place on Monday nights because it's downtown Bristol and it's not as busy on Monday night for him. So he moved his from the Bristol Mall to that. So I just went ahead and kept mine on Monday night. The other thing is a lot of my folks can't get up those elevators and up 2 flights of stairs to be inside of a place like that. And they get afraid of downtown parking and after dark and things like that. So they'll come to the store, which is there on 1 level, and we meet them at the car, and 9 times out of 10 we park the car for them so they can get it turned backwards and ready to head out. And we're packed every Monday night.
Do you see your competition as other music venues that are doing similar open shows as you are?
It's just that they're in different places, and the people that travel through, one thing that benefits me is that I'm literally, the Welcome Center can see me from their porch. So they can stand up there and point and say, take exit 1, turn left across the bridge. The other thing is people get a map sometimes. There are a lot of pros and cons to joining the Crooked Road map. But when you get on that map, one place will tell you about the next place, and one place will tell you about the next place. And I've never really heard anybody put another place down because they all want them just to keep traveling the road. And that's sort of the fun of it. They just sort of run up and down the road there.
How does your business model, your facility, compare to the other music venues in terms of food, groceries, and the other things that you might have?
Well, I don't have to have a restaurant. There's a grandfathering in the zoning that I don't have to have a restaurant license. So what we do is we prepare everything fresh on that night. We prepare it as one blue plate supper, and we always have brown beans and cornbread and fried bologna sandwiches and grilled cheese.
And you sell that?
Does that mean shut up? Play the end of my song. And as for the fiddle playing, I'll put a lid on it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what everybody said. They said, well, you can't do the others. I said, there's every chance.
There's all sorts of medical, which is over Southwest Virginia. I should say evening. This is really exciting to be here tonight. As I look around and see everybody walked out, they're missing a great presentation. I'm Mike Edwards. I work for my wife. It's a woman-owned corporation, and every guy should remember that you do work for your wife at some time. Our bed and breakfast is in Marion, Virginia, and that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. How do we expand what we've already started? Now, our main theme at the bed and breakfast is, may all who enter as guests leave as friends. We have a lot of friends that we've made over the short period of time that we've been there. The early B&Bs, that's what they look like, believe it or not. And you could stay in something like that. You could be sleeping in this would be what we call a king suite bed, but that would be in the old B&B. And there's what you might be eating at, right down there. Well, when you're at the Collins house, that's what you come into. Back 2 years ago, you would have come into a place that had a car that decided to do our front door check-in and our drive-through that actually came across our fence there, came across our Christmas trees we had in front, split those uprights perfectly and landed right in the middle of our inn. And we tried to indicate to people we don't have drive-in service. This is our breakfast. Well, you've had something to eat tonight, but you come to the inn, that's what you get. That's our dining room, our main dining room area at the inn. As we started to grow, we noticed that we took an inn from an occupancy rate of 0.2%. 0.2% based upon 150 room days. Now multiply that figure out. And you can see how many people were actually there at the end. We're now at 27%, 2.5 years later. We worked hard. Our day has 25 hours in it. People actually call us at midnight and say, do you have a room at the end? We never turn anybody down. We always answer the door with a smile, because the smile brings that guest back as a friend, because they know that they've got a place when they come into Marion. But we've reached, as we started to grow, as you can see there, that's not our growth pattern, but that's our growth example. We've reached a bubble. We know that every dollar that we put in now is going to be counterproductive, because we can't grow that much with the amount of investment that we put in just on lodging only. Now we're starting to take a look, as we did, to go to non-room revenue and how we can break that bubble and continue to move up. So as we took a look at non-room revenue, we also took a look at what do we have here in Southwest Virginia. Southwest Virginia, as I've found out when I go to trade shows, when I go and explain to people why fly fishing is so great down here, they oftentimes think we're from Southwest Virginia as opposed to Southwest Virginia. We don't exist from Roanoke down. We're making the difference. When we first started with Bed Breakfast Association of Virginia, we didn't show up on the map. When we joined, Marion showed up on the map. Ever since then, we have been growing and growing Marion as a tourist destination. Come to our place and then go from here. Go out to every one of the people that we have back here. We're all friends of how we all grow in Southwest Virginia. So we're working very hard at doing something like that, capitalizing on networking, because as we get into each individual network that we work with each one of the people up here, they then reach out and they reach out and they reach out, and all of a sudden we've done a whole lot on $25 or less. That's a good way to succeed. One of the ways that we looked at, we explored what is really one of the big areas in Southwest Virginia that brings people. Believe it or not, if you're a trout fisherman, trout fishing is great down here in Southwest Virginia. We're putting together a non-room revenue program under the Collins House Inn that will be known as the Appalachian Trail Angler Outfitters. What we'll be doing is bringing on full-time people to work that program, but we'll bring them into the destination being the Collins House. You stay there, but we'll outfit you so you can go out and you can fish. Now, we won't compete with Cabela's. We won't compete with the other, have to forgive me there, the other bigger outfitters that we have in Southwest Virginia. We're taking care of the little stuff, the stuff that you forgot at home that you're going to need to go out on the trail. Taking a look at the AT hiker who comes in off the trail, he needs to be resupplied. We're not going to give him boots, we're not going to give him heavy stuff, but we might have socks available for him. We might have trail mix available for him. And getting those type of supplies are gonna be done locally, working B2B on a local basis, or reaching out to the friends that we made through this competition to help supply the Appalachian Trail hikers or the day hikers that come through there. There is a need, because the people who come to our bed and breakfast are of the upper income bracket. The people with the disposable income, the people that look for the little stuff and they don't find it, they're gonna be coming to see us in one of our particular ventures. Or we're gonna go into the small wedding venue, capitalizing off of Virginia is for Lovers website, where we can say, okay, in Virginia, you're looking for a small venue, come to the end, because we can do a small wedding. We have a officiant who can do a shotgun wedding. We can do themed weddings like that. But it's something different that we can advertise and use the free advertising that Virginia is for Lovers website gives us, and we use it. We take a look at Back of the Dragon. Those of you that have gone to Tennessee and ridden the tail of the dragon, you can come to our place and ride the Back of the Dragon. This brings us and ties us together with Wise, with Phil, Tazewell, all of the areas where we have 5 touring trails for motorcycles and for cars. Another income-producing place for us to look at non-room revenue. But in order to do that, we come back again to the circle of friends, or the circle of life, as we might talk about it, how we are all going to succeed. What we need to do and what we're doing is, we're going to provide a small business entrepreneurial, as I put it, program for the B&B industry with interns from the Smith Career and Technical Center, or Exit 39. We're taking a look at bringing in those people who want to intern and learn what culinary arts are all about in the hospitality industry. We're also taking a look to secure staff that are dedicated to focus on those non-room revenue activities. Because for 2 people to handle that, there are not 25 hours in the day, although we think there is, and some of the people we deal with think there is. So I go back again to the market numbers are there. We've done the research. It's in our business plan that you'll see. I end all of this with saying, come to Marion and come to the Collins House Inn, where you come as guests, but you leave as my friends.
What is the biggest drawing card to draw people? If I was coming through the area, why would I want to stop at Smith County or Marion? How are you going to promote that?
What we do, and we promote this very effectively with all the other businesses in town, it's called Song of the Mountains. Once a month, it's like Christmas for us. It's the bluegrass music, it's our heritage that brings the people in. If you bring them into my place, or I bring them into my place, they're going to spend money with me because they got to have a place to stay. And being that we're rated #1 in Smith, or within Marion, they want that extra pampering, they want that feel-good feeling. So while they're there, we take it, the Song of the Mountain draws them in from the international community. We collaborate with international travel agencies to bring people to Smith County, to bring them to Marion, and more than anything, to bring them to our inn. We really do.
How many rooms are available in Marion?
Pardon?
How many rooms are available in Marion, 5-mile radius?
Oh, 5-mile radius. Good rooms, there are 41. Additional rooms, you talk about other chains that might be there, but they're the low end of the category. So maybe 100, 125 altogether.
And the biggest draw to Marion, running off your question, I've never heard of it, is the Bluegrass Festival once a month?
Song of the Mountains is once a month. It has Tim White. Tim is.
And what about, that's once a month, what about the other 29 days?
The other 29 days we do outdoor activities is the big draw. I just sat through Virginia's for Lovers workshop today, and it was the outdoor draw, the outdoor hiking, the outdoor kayaking in the area, the trout fishing in the area, the bicycling that we can send them off to the Creeper Trail or the Creeper Zip Line. Those are the things that do actually bring the people into town.
I know when I travel, I try to stay at a bed and breakfast occasionally, and I look for different things in the home that I'm staying in. And I know outreaching, which is what you should do, outreach out to other businesses and promote yourselves with them. But the home itself, you say you've got 9 rooms?
We have 5 rooms.
5 rooms.
The house itself was built in 1926. It went through a complete renovation in 2002 with a couple that used tax dollars and credits and refurbed the whole house. It took them 5 years. They did nothing more for another 5 years and then sat on it for 2 more years, and then we bought into it.
So you've remodeled it?
We haven't done any of that. All we did is put new light bulbs in and put paintings on the wall.
Right.
And we continue to market it as the quality, the stuff that you look for, the warmth. And what we get from the comments is from people is this is like home.
Yeah.
We can come in here, we can take our shoes off and sit down here in the living room.
Right.
That's what we want, because that brings you back as a friend. And the repeat guests that we're getting back are phenomenal. They treat us like family. We treat them like family.
What is your cost for a night stay?
Well, the ADR is $147, but our costs run from $135 to $155. During special seasons like NASCAR down in Bristol, we do raise them. Some for leaf peeping season, we raise them. So there is seasonal raises. And then on the other side, we do a program called Heads in the Bed. And we then drop the rates during the November to the end of January timeframe, because we're trying to get the traveler off the Corridor 81 circuit, and we want to make you an offer that you can't refuse.
But you're at 155, but what is your cost? What is your cost per day? What's your cost of goods?
58.
58.
Yeah.
So you have a 30% cost of goods.
Yep.
At a 25% ratio.
Yep.
Like you said, your occupancy was somewhere in the
27%.
27%.
Yep.
Is that norm? I'm sorry.
No, Norman, well, there are 3 different types of businesses in bed and breakfast. There are those when people come through the door, they say, are you retired? This is your home. I'm not retired, I'm tired after some of the days. And that's when they don't care what they pay, and they're gonna try to get you at the best possible rate. But there's the family style end, then there's one that's the marginal between that and the financially viable end. The financially viable end is at 47.1% occupancy. Now, if you take my 150 room days, you're taking a look at close to, well, less than 75 room days are gonna have to be rented in order for you to reach the financially viable category. We pay our debt service, but we've noticed that we're rising to a point where we're not growing as fast as we want. We want to be able to bring other people in for other reasons. Now, if I bring the fisherman in or fisher person, they're gonna come in and they're gonna stay with me, but they're also gonna buy from the local area.
How are you gonna get to them?
We're getting to them, but the fisher people, for instance, okay, with the use of Trout Unlimited, we're having a lot of success with them, where we're working with the Wounded Warrior program or the Healing Waters program. They're starting to manipulate the program capabilities so that we are a destination for them to come to. We then send our guide services out with them to take care of them, and then they start referring, and as the Trout Unlimited, even with them, their captive people are now coming to stay with us.
What do you want to use the money for?
We want to use the money to be able to get the bottom line non-room revenue dollars in so that I could translate that to a room revenue dollar. And with that room revenue dollar, I can show the growth that I can't do where I feel I'm at the point of diminishing returns.
So you're selling packages?
I'm selling packages, yes. And in my business plan that you'll get a copy of, I indicate on the plan outside the revenue areas we talked about here, the anglers, the motorcycle riders. And one of the things I should bring up on the motorcycle riders too, which brings them to our place, is we often offer dragon-friendly housing, which means that if you're riding the back of the dragon, you want to have a good place to lay down at night, because you've been out there and you've been riding hard maybe, or you're traveling from point A to point B. But we also provide dragon-friendly housing for their rides. When they come in, their bikes go in the garage, our cars go out of the garage. That brings the motorcycle rider back because he knows we care.
What are you using the expansion money for?
We're using the expansion money for job creation.
So it's to hire people?
It's to hire people, because we can't do it ourselves. We're creating jobs that are directly attributed to each one as more or less the general.
So right now you're maxed?
Right, we're matched with what we can do.
What positions are you hiring?
Pardon?
What positions are you hiring for?
We're hiring for an assistant innkeeper, We're hiring for a general manager of the I'm calling it limited partner for the Appalachian Trail and Outfitters program. And then we're putting on culinary interns to also help understand what culinary arts are all about in this level of lodging, because it's different than a hotel. We offer a suitable alternative to hotel lodging, and we want people who are coming into that business to understand what it's all about.
I like the idea of the culinary. That's a unique twist. I've not heard that before, so.
We had one intern thus far. She was dynamite. That girl could cook, serve, clean the house, and do everything that we asked her to do. And now she's come back after her tour with the National Guard and said, "Can I start again? I'll volunteer. I want to be part of this program."
I think in addition to the good room, the traveler wants good food too.
Oh, right.
They want to eat.
And see, my wife is the cook, and the responses we get on TripAdvisor are nice room, nice hospitality, and great food.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, up next, we have Catherine.
Is this what I have here?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Catherine Hayden, and I'm the owner of Sweetworks. Sweetworks began in April 2014 as a home-based business, making custom cakes and cupcakes. All cakes are made from scratch using original recipes. I began marketing my business by becoming a vendor at the Abingdon Farmers Market and setting up a business Facebook page. I started posting pictures of the cakes that I had decorated on Facebook and began to see my following grow, along with the number of orders for cakes and cupcakes. This past January, I entered the Washington County Business Challenge, and it was a great learning and networking opportunity. I noticed an obvious increase in business after competing in that competition. I learned a lot in the challenge, and I want to thank all of those that were part of that for helping me structure my business, and which allowed me to move from a home-based sole proprietorship to a growing LLC. Fast forward 5 months, and I have officially outgrown my home kitchen. Through a customer, I become aware of a rental opportunity in Chilhowie. I contacted the owner, presented her my business pitch. She loved the idea, so we worked out a rental agreement, and now I'm at 132 East Main Street in Chilhowie, Virginia, which is the former Townhouse Grill restaurant. On August 1st of this year, my business went from home-based to commercial. After moving into the commercial kitchen, my business became certified by the Department of Agriculture, which allowed me to pursue my goal of marketing to restaurants and businesses. As of today, I now sell to political dogs in Abingdon, and I also sell cupcakes to Riverfront Restaurant in Chilhowie. The Clifton Companies in Abingdon is currently my largest single client, and they often place orders of up to 60 dozen cupcakes for them to use as their marketing to thank their clients in all over Southwest Virginia and Northeast Tennessee. Most recently, Sholey Corporation in Chilhowie has contacted me about providing cupcakes to their employees as a employee appreciation program, and we plan to intensify our marketing to businesses throughout the region. Sweetworks has shown steady growth. In fact, since moving to Chilhowie location, I've hired one part-time employee, and I plan to make that part-time employee a full-time position. We plan to take advantage of the momentum behind our growth and begin our 4-part expansion plan. I have customers who purchase large amounts of cupcakes for weddings, anniversaries, business luncheons, things like that. And they have often inquired about Sweetworks offering catering services. They would like to have all their meal and dessert needs met by the same vendor. So we began to explore the feasibility of offering catering services. Since moving back to Virginia 3 years ago, my husband some of the best pulled pork you'll ever have. Hopefully you've had the opportunity to try some tonight and agree with that. This began as a passion for good barbecue and a love for cooking for friends and family. Friends and family and coworkers often request that Stacy cook for their events, special events, and thus began a desire for him to turn his craft into a business. We obtained a permit from the Smith County Health Department to operate as a caterer at a restaurant. A local physician and fan of my husband's barbecue asked us to cater an event for her. She needed a barbecue feast for about 100 people for a function she was hosting for Cornerstone Christian Academy. This was a huge success, and since that event, we have catered 3 more events. The best part of this is that we haven't even really begun to advertise the catering yet. In order to focus on both the quality of food and service, our menu will be limited at first. It will consist of smoked pulled pork and a choice of sides. All recipes, including sauces and meat rubs, are 100% made from scratch and developed by us. This unique quality and taste comes from the pork barbecue seasoning and also from the use of a big green egg. The egg is unique because of a ceramic cooking chamber that retains heat and keeps food moist, and it uses natural hardwood versus charcoal briquettes. The big green egg and its curiosity surrounding it makes our business a little more unique locally. The second part of our expansion plan is to open the restaurant area as a storefront bakery for walk-in customers, and we plan to start that in December of this year. This will allow us to capitalize on repeat customers and new customers who will be able to have spur-of-the-moment decisions to purchase cupcakes rather than calling and ordering in advance, which is what we're doing right now. Along with this, we'll also have coffee and tea available. In December, we will also start marketing carry-out lunches. These will be available 1 to 2 days per week. We'll advertise these by flyers and surrounding businesses on Facebook and on our website. The lunch will be pulled pork barbecue and choice of sides served in different varieties such as sandwiches, nachos, stuffed baked potatoes. The lunches are actually a marketing strategy to get people to use the catering services. If things go as planned, we'll also begin to sell our barbecue sauces and barbecue rubs in the storefront by spring, just in time for grilling season. The third part of our expansion plan will also begin in December. We plan to advertise the restaurant area as an event venue for parties. There's not a whole lot of options in Chilhowie for places to host your party, so we think that we can capitalize on that. The customer will have the option of bringing their own food or ordering their food from us. The fourth and final part of our expansion plan begins after 2 years of sustained growth. We would like to add a food vending trailer to take to local and regional events and also business sites in Washington and Smith County. With our expansion plan comes the requirement for additional employees. Stacy, my husband, will be the catering manager. I will be the manager over the cakes and cupcakes and the storefront. We are planning to hire 1 full-time person and 2 part-time people. The current part-time person that I have right now will become the full-time person in December, and you can see the time frame for hiring the other part-time employees. These lucky individuals will be trained in both the bakery and the catering. If we are chosen as the lucky winners of the My Southwest Virginia Opportunity Cup, we will purchase the following items. We'll purchase the delivery vehicle, transport trailer for the eggs, a display case for the restaurant, and an extra large green egg. And these are not necessarily the ones that we will buy, but while projecting our 3-year cash flow, we compared our 2014 sales to our 2015 sales, and a month-to-month comparison shows that sales in some months of this year are increasing by as much as 3 times over the same months in 2014. Each monthly comparison showed a minimum of sales doubling. Current cost of goods sold for 2015 is 35.8%, and our current operating expenses is 30.7%, which we anticipate that these numbers will change in the future, but we also project continued growth in sales. So lastly, we would like to leave you with a quote from my husband, and we would like to thank everyone involved in the My Southwest Virginia Opportunity Cup. It's been
whole building you're paying rent on, but you don't use it?
I'm just
25%
using the
of it?
kitchen part. I'm using half of it. I'm not using the restaurant and the seating
How
area.
much you pay on
I'm paying $500
$500
a month.
for that whole building? 500 a month for the whole building? Okay, how much square foot, not even?
Probably
About
about
3,200 square feet.
at least. There's one section of it that they apparently have stuff stored in that we're not even using at all. It's just.
How long is that lease
restaurant
for?
equipment. What's that?
How long is the lease for?
We had an option. We initially chose 6 months. I mean, ideally when the business
6 months,
starts,
you can close that thing now.
she wanted,
10 years.
she wanted to, move back toward Avid, and obviously for population, traffic volume, that kind of thing. But, so initially 6 months, but they're very pleased with us being there, and, they're kind of wanting us to do these expansions as well, so.
So national average on cost of goods sold, I don't change the restaurants, so, but national restaurants, the cost of goods sold is between 28 and 35. You're at 35.8. Is that for cupcakes and the barbecue, or is it just?
Yeah, because we really just got started in the barbecue, so it's mainly just for the cupcakes.
Is it normally that expensive?
I try to use cheaper products like, say, Kroger brand versus Philadelphia, and the products just aren't as good. So I try to use good products.
Since you're only using half of it, do you have rights to that building that they can't put something else in their own?
As far as I know, they've been very kind.
But only for
They've been
6
very kind.
months.
They've
They're kind
they've
enough.
said, this is what we have, use what we have. So,
What's your competition?
my competition in, I'm in Chilhowie, so in Smith County, I don't know of a whole lot of competition in Smith County, but Washington County, I definitely have Baby Cakes, Anthony's, Blackbird Bakery, there's a lady called Nancy's Fancies. So definitely those four are.
How do you
really
fare
well.
with them?
As far as price-wise.
Do you
or
have
sales-wise?
trends that shows what you're doing versus what they're doing?
I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't.
You're competing for the same customers. I mean, they're not exactly in your area, but people tend to kind of look further out and be quite happy to drive or call somebody in the neighboring area. So,
Yeah.
are you competing for the same customers, and how do you find that you're stacking up against that competition?
I believe I am competing for a lot of the same customers as far as area-wise, because we are in a kind of small area. But I feel like I'm doing very, very well against Baby Cakes. I have a lot of people that have said, they used to be very good, but now they're not anymore, and yours are really wonderful. So I feel like I'm doing really well against our customers.
What are your customers telling you about why they choose you?
Some will say their cupcakes are dry, some will say they thought they were probably too old to have been sold, some will say they taste like they were come from Fox Mix. So I've kind of had those comments.
So you're competing on quality
Yeah.
specifically?
Yeah, and customer service too, because
And how do you
the better
compare
usually
price-wise?
I decided to price my products a little bit less than theirs, so that would be.
Is that why your cost of goods are 35.8? Have you ever ran a restaurant before?
No. I have not ran a restaurant before. I've worked in a bakery before as an assistant manager.
Because you're looking at taking it to a restaurant, is that correct?
I'm sorry, yes,
Yeah.
yes, catering mostly, but yes. Yes, and the catering part is really his side of it, and I'm gonna stick with the cakes and the cupcakes. But yes, I have, been an assistant manager in a bakery, and then I have an associate's degree in accounting, and I've done bookkeeping work and payroll work and things like that, so I'm kind of familiar with some things.
Your employees are gonna be way off. Your employees, one, you're gonna need a lot. If you go to this catering, yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing something on Saturday for 140 people, and I have my whole staff working on it, gotta hire 10 people. I mean, it's insane, it's crazy, so.
Yeah, now I wonder where our menu is so limited, we're doing like pulled pork and sides, so, I don't know. It'll be a learning experience. We have friends.
So what do you wanna use
and
money
family that
for?
work for free.
I mean, 12,000, there's two of you, yeah, I know you're not living on that, so how are you guys living there?
Thankfully, he has a job.
And you're not gonna quit his job?
No, but his career is flexible, his hours and days he works, and so he can be more flexible.
There's great profit margin in wedding cakes.
It's full time for me. Yeah. Yeah, when we had our daughter, I stayed at home, and after a couple of years of that, I wanted to do something, but I still wanted to be home with her, so.
Who's gonna help you run it?
He's been helping me run it, as far as.
The whole building, expenses, employees,
Well.
cooking.
Him, the full-time employee, the part-time employee that we have is Bridget out, that you may have met outside, so she hopefully is gonna be full-time. So her, and then, him, and probably have to hire more people.
Did I hear you say you were gonna get into the wedding business, wedding cakes?
I do a lot of wedding cakes. I do.
Big profit.
You doing that?
I do a lot of wedding cakes now.
Big profit, oh, big.
Yeah.
But her cost.
Made from scratch?
Oh, yes. Yes, all made from scratch. Guaranteed. Yes, right now I've been buying all of my stuff from Sam's Club. That may be why my costs are a bit higher. But I am going to talk to some reps from different vendors.
Cisco.
Okay, so our next and last presenter is Jennifer Bailey.
Can you give me a minute to try one of these?
I think they need a few minutes to set up.
Does anybody want to share?
They're good, but.
Come on. Somebody get in your side of me.
Oh, you got a bunch of different flavors.
You're hired.
You won't be the one to fiddle it, so
Maybe not like that. You can play the guitar like we did the last time.
Everybody better clear your bench. Be real clear. Are they this small?
No, I just make a small ones for touristy.
Good.
There's a place called Rose Bakery.
May I?
Across
Oh,
from
yeah.
my train station, but next to my restaurant. Always out. I'm the train station in Joel.
Oh, do you?
I started Wildwood Cafe. Built 35 of those sold. But anyway.
What's it called?
Yeah, it's like
My name is Jennifer Bailey, and I am representing Sugar Hill Brewing Company. 3 years ago, in the town of St. Paul, where I live and work, ATV trails came in. A trailhead was established in our town, and we realized that there was nowhere for people to stay within a 20-mile radius. So my husband and I took some rental property that we had, and we furnished it completely. We made it very comfortable so that people could come in and spend a night, a weekend, a week, and just relax and enjoy it. Well, every time these people came into our town, the first question they asked, where's a good place to eat? Well, unfortunately, in our town, we had 2 places that were not chains to eat. So if they asked the additional question, where can we get a good beer? Well, there was a problem, because if you wanted a bottle of beer, you better like Mexican, because 3 miles away there was a Mexican restaurant, and that was it for 20 miles. So we recognized that there was a void that needed to be filled. So we decided to start Sugar Hill Brewing Company. And the reason we decided to go with the brewery was because we discovered that our son, who's now 23 years old, had been brewing beer for years. And he was quite good at it. So we said, wow, a brewery. We knew that craft beer appeals to so many people in the adult age group. It's the millennials and the Gen Xers. It's up to 49% of those people love craft beer. So we knew that when we knew somebody who knew how to brew beer, and we knew how to eat and what kind of food was good, we knew we had a good thing going. Our vision for this restaurant is to have fresh food, fresh beer, upbeat attitude, and excellent service. What's not to love about that? Who wouldn't drive all over the county to be able to come to a place like that? So we are going to be a destination with this kind of food, this kind of beer. Now look at that good-looking trio. That's me and our son and my husband. We are the owners of Sugar Hill Brewing Company. We're going to basically need 2 people for the brewery side of it. We need a brewmaster and we need an assistant brewer. Now my son would like to be one of those, but he's a pharmacy student, so he's only going to get to come in every so often. He lives in Johnson City, but he will assist with that, but we will have to have a couple people with that. Fortunately, there are some experts who live just across the hill. They've helped other breweries get started. So then on the restaurant side, we have to have more people for that. We have a general manager who we already have in place. We'll need cooks, dishwashers, servers. We'll need several people, 13 in all. And the accounting support, see, that's coming down from me to accounting support. I've got a little too much to do, so I'm going to need a little help. So far, we have our loan. We are approved. Our financing is in place. The additional that we need, we are able to put that in ourselves. We have our equipment ordered. We're going to be a 5-barrel system, which means about 175 gallons will be able to be brewed at any one time. The fermenting vats are 10, so we can do double batches, and 10 barrels can be fermented at any time. So we have our permits in process. We're going through that wonderful process where we have to get lots and lots of permits. We are in that. We're working out our menu. We still have construction to do. That starts next week. And the construction, we already own a building in historic downtown St. Paul. It's 6,000 square feet on the main level. So right now we have a hardware store in there. It's on the corner. And so the hardware store faces Fifth Avenue. The corner is Broad Street. And that is where our restaurant is going, our brew pub is going to go in. And the brew pub has double doors that will go into it. To the right, we're going to have exposed brick wall in this old building. It's going to be to the rafters. It's going to have an industrial look with a concrete floor. So we'll have all the equipment, the brewery equipment will be in full display there. We're going to have a room, a large room, where we can have a waiting area. We are then going to have a dining room where there will be 100 people can be seated in there. There'll be a stage there for live music too. So, to give you an idea of the cost on these, the equipment for the kitchen and the brewery is going to be $170,000, and that is going refurbished on the kitchen. We're going as low as we can on that because the brewing equipment is so expensive. Now the construction cost is going to take about $40,000 to change the building around, to build the kitchen, to build the couple extra bathrooms, to do some things like that. And of course, we have to have some cash in the bank so that we can always be sure that we're going to be able to make payroll. Now, what would we do with the funds if we win in this contest? When we started planning this, We thought, oh, $20,000, we can do this whole thing. That's what our son told us. So then we start investigating, we start talking to people, we start pricing things, and the price goes up, 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 up. So we're finally getting to where we're saying we could spend $2 million on this. The problem is we have to pay that $2 million back. So we knew we couldn't spend that much money. So what we decided to do was just, we cut down a little on our marketing. Not because we thought it wasn't important, we knew it was very important, but we had to get the physical layout there. So we put our money there, and we would use that, we'd plump that up and get a buzz going on our brewery before it ever opens. And also for that cool waiting area that I told you about there, we would have a couple of vintage pinball machines, a foosball table, all coin operated, so that we can make a little money there too. But the biggest, most exciting thing is that Governor McAuliffe is going to come to every new brewery in the state. How many businesses get that opportunity? We are going to be in contact with him constantly, his office, to make sure that we don't fall through the cracks and make sure he really makes it. We're going to make him his own beer. We're going to roll out the red carpet and play that to the hilt so that we can get all that free exposure. So who wouldn't want fresh food, fresh beer, upbeat attitude, and excellent service? We'll give it to the governor, and we'll give it to every person who walks in that door.
Have you and your husband ever run a restaurant?
Nope. Of course, we had never run a hardware store when we bought that, and we had never run overnight rentals when we did that either.
Restaurants, talk about a different animal. It's a total, so you have 3,000 square feet, it sounds like, right?
About 3,000.
Right, and you have $40,000 in upfit. Have you got a bid for that? Did somebody bid that, or is your husband going to do it?
He's going to do some of the work, and then we have local guys who we have used in our rental property. They are going to work too.
So they bid it out, and it's 40,000.
40,000 is the total for it. That includes labor and the work that needs to be done, the materials that needs to be bought. Yes.
40,000.
Some of them will work for beer, but no, that's not legal, so we're not going to do that.
Where'd you get your equipment from for 170,000? And is that 170,000 for food and beer equipment?
That, yes, that is for both.
And where'd you bid that out?
The brewing equipment is coming from Connecticut. I think it's O'Neill's in Connecticut. And then the kitchen equipment, we are going to get refurbished. We've looked at a couple different places. There's a place in Johnson City. And then actually there is a restaurant in Wise, Virginia that is going out that I know the owner, he's going to give me a good deal on that. So I'm hoping that'll come in under bid. I mean, I'm not committed to the kitchen equipment yet. We are on the brewery equipment. That's $140.
You have a brewmaster?
We have some experts that live just across the hill. Now, we don't know if they will accept the job, if the man will accept the job as brewmaster, but he is certainly going to help us with it.
So you're starting the construction and everything without a brewmaster right now. How many people have you taste tested on your beer?
Well, we can taste test you right now if you want to. We have a sample.
Oh, no. I appreciate that, but so, no.
Oh, well, we've been doing this for we've been planning it for probably 18 months. We've gone to festivals and done different things. Of course, that is brewing on a small scale. That's different. We are, the company that we're buying the equipment off of will come for 8 days and train the people who are going to be working in it. They help us with the recipes, and then the expert that lives across the hill, he's also very good at helping you fine tune the
How many
recipes.
seats you have?
Pardon?
Seats?
100, about 100.
Who's your nearest competitor?
Pardon?
Who's your nearest competitor?
Our nearest competitor
On the brewery side.
as far as brewery is Wolf Hills in Abingdon. And so that's it's close to 40 miles away. Now restaurants, we only have 2 in town. Or 3 in town now. And then we will have, there's 3 others 3 miles away. And then otherwise it's Wise or Lebanon or Abingdon are the closest.
I'm finding there's more and more interest in this brewery, and it's becoming alive here 2015, I'm hearing a lot about it.
Yes.
It's gonna be the coming thing. I tell you, when you start getting into cost, and I don't have to tell you, this thing could escalate out of your hand if you don't watch it real quick. Because restaurant equipment and all the regulations and all the fire codes and all the people you gotta deal with, they'll burn you.
Well, the wonderful thing is that our building is paid for by another business, by the
Right.
St. Paul Suites and Cottages, so it's really a rent-free area. That's a big savings right there. That
It's
is.
6% of the savings, but your employee costs are gonna be 25 to 30%, your food costs are gonna be 35%.
That's
Your
what we
Your beer
estimated
won't
that.
be, it will be below 19 because you're making your own, but then you got your liquor costs in there, it's gonna be 24.
We're not gonna have liquor, we're just gonna have beers. Yeah, just our own beer, and we will have local wine.
How much does it cost to stay to keep the doors open per week, you know?
Well, I know per month, it's about 6,000.
6,000 to
Estimated.
keep the doors open.
Yes.
That's not including inventory.
That is on a monthly basis, assuming we have like 10,000 to start out with. Actually, that's a pretty low number.
That's way low.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
I'm at $107.19 an hour. Right, I'm coming in somewhere about $11.90 a week, coming in $72,000 a month for Richmond. Charlottesville's probably somewhere about, I think it was $39,000, but yeah, it's.
That's one of the beauties of living in a small town though, where we don't have a big job market. There are a lot of people who.
So where are you gonna get your waiters and waitresses?
We're gonna get them from people in the area.
Turnover rate actually is 33%.
Yes, I
On
realize
national
that.
average.
Yes. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy. I mean, we're going into this with eyes wide open. We understand this is the toughest business, but we really believe that this is what's needed in this time and this place, and we really have the enthusiasm to do it.
You wanna take $2 million and make it $1 million? Start a restaurant.
I'd rather not.
Good luck.
I think the brewery business is coming thing. That's,
I would taste test.
there's all kinds of restaurants and all kinds of costs are just
Right.
astronomical.
And
There are all kinds of costs.
And just a restaurant wouldn't make it, I don't think, in a small town. I think you have to have something that's gonna draw people from the area, from a larger area than just any ordinary restaurant. That's why I think the brewery will really be the
I
key.
think your brewmasters are gonna be important.
Yes, very.
If you're gonna make that brewery work, they just got.
You have one shot. I had a neighbor,
Yeah,
a neighbor
if
to
you
my
blow
restaurant.
if you blow it, he's right, you got one shot.
And I
You
said
blow
to him, I said, how many people have you taste tested? He said, none. I said, don't open your doors. He goes, I got to. He opened, reputation went out. He's out of business in a year.
Yeah.
You
I
have to have
test
people
it,
taste
test it, test.
Oh, we do. We have a following.
Make sure,
Yeah.
because if it bombs, there
Oh,
goes
we
your
can't,
reputation.
yeah, we can't afford that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Two
absolutely.
questions for you, Jennifer. This follows on from the brewmaster. You talked about an individual that you've identified that may be taking on the role as the brewmaster, but if not, maybe helping.
He's a consultant.
As a consultant. Beyond that, what does your search for the brewmaster look like, and what's your plan for that? That's number one. Number two, does your restaurant have a theme?
As far as the theme, it's gonna be an eclectic type with the industrial look to it. We're gonna have.
What are you gonna serve?
It's going to be fresh, not frozen food. It's going to be like Frito pie. It's going to be wings, things that pair well with beer brat, braised. And so we're going to have things that go along with that. We're going to be, oh, okay. Well, wait, let me, what was that? The
10
brewmaster.
seconds to tell me about your search for the brewmaster.
Okay, the search for the brewmaster is going to be in the area with other breweries. They will help you, they are helping us do that, actually. They put the word out. Then I think there's online things where you can advertise for people too. So we're just trying to get the word out there about that.
Okay, so that concludes our, all of our presentations. We want to thank our judges, because they gave us a whole evening. And we'll get all of the scorings from our judges, and you all know that you have to submit your business plans. Make sure you get them to Robin if you haven't already. We'll probably collect the ones from the judges and make sure, because I know some of you may have only brought 3 or 4, and we'll make sure that Robin gets those, okay? All right, thank you all very much, Robin.
She is, I don't have one.
It's all the others in the class that are seniors. We really wanted to hold it as a senior class. She was the back. And we began to be able to take this talk.
Give you a little bit more insight. Business plan if you want. Look through it before we turn it in.
Their pitch, yeah. I don't think it's special.
And maybe what I can do is make sure that we talk to city and have this time in the club.
Yeah, so, no. I'm gonna come down especially. And then you guys do your presentation in front of me. I'll spend the night, take you all out for dinner.
This is the awards.
Because I can't. We just can't do it. So, and UVA online is coming in. So I'll pick a date.
All right. But thank you for being such a good class. This is the very first class that over 60 years.
What?
You were doing the very first class.
So everything is done online. So the online is online. This is first UVA Wi-Fi?
No, this is the first UVA-wise joint class.
Really?
No, so you're doing the inaugural class.
We gotta kill it.
There was a false start maybe 2 years ago in a public health course. Public health course that you did that. So you're doing.
Do you have any entrepreneur stuff here in your school?
We did. We have entrepreneurship class only one credit course every spring.
One?
We've got tons of way to go in our business department.
Our club, which I'm the president of.
The club is more active than anything else.
It really is, and we just this year have reached our 50th member. We've had very few members until this point. Now we're
So do you think this class would kill it at Wise? The class I'm teaching, if I was here, if someone was here. It would be so much better.
I really do.
Because you saw it when I'm there, it's so different, so better.
I've had offices that regular entrepreneurship class in Wise. I would get ready to set up. I'm sorry.
And this is the plan before the plan. If it doesn't make it off this plan, why are you building this plan? You know what I mean?
All of us that in that class most of us have had, or had those, like,
When you recorded it for another group or something?
Yes, so you guys are through with these. Robin will be in touch with you. Access to the ones that were done upstairs.
That's gonna be online.
That's gonna be online. Go online and just watch. Yeah, we just, I mean, you saw overall took 2.5 hours as a group. If we had done all of them, or had 2 nights, that would have been too much. So